Has this ever happened to you?
Too loud! That's right in my ear!
Then move. Have you ever found yourself sitting in your parents' basement and had the thought, could I be a YouTuber?
No, not really. I don't do that.
Rhetorical. First, let's see if you meet the credentials. 1. Are you unemployed? 2. Do you have any talent? No? Perfect! 3. Do you have a criminal record? Well, you do now!
I never went to jail. I don't like you.
Well, you do now.
What?
Enough of him. In this eloquent extravaganza, follow the tutelage of Meaty, It's, as they describe the journey of concept to premiere. Being a YouTuber is something anyone can do if they get the right advice and they follow their hearts. Start to finish, this video will leave you aghast at the myriad of mystical movie-making magic that can materialize from the click of just a button. Or in some cases, many. From hardware to ripping off popular YouTubers, there's no better place than home. But this video is a close second. To quote the great Orson Welles, it's just a camera till somebody picks it up. So why not start your YouTube journey today? Through this video. The video you're watching. Did we get? What do you mean I'm not wired for sound? So you're saying this is the whole endeavor, the whole charade is it's just been a gaffe, a goof. Nothing more, nothing less. Unprofessional. The thing to do.
And now that we have that intro out of the way, welcome to the totally real itzamedee branded mega tutorial on how I make the videos for YouTube. I've been using these techniques ever since I started making videos in high school, so it's most likely to say that I will be doing this until I retire or I die. Both will be rough days for my bank account. Whether you wanted to learn how I make videos, what takes me so long to make the videos, or you just want to hear someone yap about their creative process, hi, I'm here for you. First of all, I've been asked if I've gone to art school, and the answer would be kind of. Do you remember Art Instruction Schools of America?
I love to draw, you know, it's really inspiring to me. I was always able to draw pretty well.
Call this number for your art test. There's no obligation.
I went there, but I wasn't able to finish my courses by the time that they shut down in 2018. Wait, but you graduated high school in 2018. How does that work? This video is not about that, you silly goose. That's a story for another time. Moral of the story is I'm mainly self-taught. Organized learning settings for like school or college can be helpful, yes, but you can learn without these resources. I learned how to draw originally by just watching speed paints on YouTube by artists I really liked, and I studied and practiced for a while while referencing these. There are tons of people who have in-depth tutorials for almost any program or material you want. This is not one of those though. This is just me kind of like pointing you in the direction of where to go. I'm just briefly going over how I personally do things. I have no degree to show for my time with YouTube University. Before I get into the stuff that I use to make videos, I started off using a hand-me-down laptop and the cheapest graphic tablets I could find on Amazon with a free drawing software. I've just upgraded what I use over time and mainly kind of apply the same sort of way I do things, just different programs. And I'm happy with what I use now. Will I change stuff in the future? Maybe, but this is mainly what I do. I'm gonna be breaking this down into a couple different sections like hardware, software, the actual process itself, character design, shortcuts I do to kind of make things easier for myself. Just giving you the laydown. For hardware, I primarily use this gaming PC that my family chipped in together and got me for Christmas one year. It handles animating and editing software a little bit better than the laptop I was using before. To draw, I use an iPad Air 14 to draw on the go. And I also have an XP Pen Artist Pro 2nd Gen that I like drawing on, but I don't really like drawing it at my desk if I don't have to, just because the way I have my desk currently is just a little bit awkwardly placed. So for the most part, I use it as a secondary monitor, unless I need it specifically for something like a drawing challenge video. The mic I use is this USB HyperX Solocast, which I really like. I think it sounds pretty good. It was relatively affordable, and I have gifted this to friends who need a mic. For software, I use Clip Studio, Paint to draw all of my frames, Flip-a-Clip if I want to do just a silly animation loop, Sony Vegas to edit all my videos, Audacity to record my audio, Levelator to level out my audio, and I run my mic through a program called SteelSeries GG, and if I need to record my screen, I just use OBS. So let me give a quick rundown of these programs. Clip Studio is the program I currently use. When I first started making videos, I used Paint Tool Sci, but Clip Studio was a really easy transition for me. My version is a one-time purchase on the desktop, and it's a subscription on mobile devices like my iPad. Even if you have to pay for it, it's still relatively cheaper than most programs, and it's by no means a cheap feeling program. It's still pretty heavy duty. I like it a lot. I know technically if you upgrade, you can get more animation-friendly features, but I don't use those. Flip-a-Clip is also on my iPad. It's a one-time purchase for the Pro, but it is free if you don't mind God's least favorite staring into your soul. But I do, so I forked over my money. I use this to make silly little animations loop if I just want to like have a looped asset to keyframe across my screen, or just for fun. Sony Vegas I use to edit all my videos. Originally, I used Windows Movie Maker, so Originally using Sony Vegas was kind of intimidating, but it's very good. It was a little pricey for a one-time purchase, but it's a one-time purchase option, so I'm really happy about it. I don't like paying for subscriptions. Audacity is a pretty easy audio editing program to use. You can set up your mic and then the program, press record, and record, which is pretty easy to teach yourself how to do this, but there's also plenty of audio engineers on YouTube who have made extensive tutorials on how to optimize the program. There are many different ways that you can edit or export your audio. That's really cool. Normally when I export it, plop it in a levelator to level out my audio originally, so it all sounds even, and then saves me a little bit of time, and then I'll listen back and I'll do like more editing. I don't record in a recording booth or anything. I don't have one. I know that there are ways you can do it. You can use a closet, you can either hide under a comforter. There's a lot of ways that you can do it, but for me personally, I use SteelSeries GG to help control my background noise. Basically, I open up SteelSeries GG and I import my mic as the input audio. I play around with the settings to kind of filter out background noise, just make myself sound a little bit more like appealing. I use a setting called deep voice, which I don't think actually like makes my voice sound deeper. I think I sound the same. It just, I like the way it transfers out the background noise. And then any program you want to, that turns into a mic, like in your computer settings. So after you run your mic through SteelSeries, you run SteelSeries as your mic through like other programs like, you know, Audacity. Next, we're going to talk about character design and the style I animate in. Back when I first made videos, this is what I looked like in my art style. Do you know why? Because everyone looked like this. Many animators drew themselves with the white skin, dot eyes, and, you know, some different accessories or details just to distinguish themselves. You know why? It's easy. It saves time. Do you know how long this takes to animate? I'm gonna die! My style has progressed over time. I don't draw myself as unrealistic as my middle school OC. I draw myself as me. This is what I look like. I own this jacket, my hair is brown and fluffy, I have freckles, I have glasses, I have black soulless eyes that make you stare into the void. Now let's go to the actual video process of how I make videos. I will also be breaking this part down. The moment we've all been waiting for, putting everything together. Scripting. How do I come up with the ideas? I'm a Storytime animator, so it's normally like this. Something happens, and I want to talk about it. I've always been a bit of a yapper, so that part comes pretty easy. After I lay down the base of the script, I go back and I reread it. Could I be funnier? Why am I not funny? Why didn't my cat come sit with me when I asked him to? Then I add jokes if I have a funny comment, or I rephrase things in a way that helps make the script go by a little bit better, until I make a script that I think I can show other people. It takes a lot for me to show my scripts to other people. I get really nervous. I have a fear that they're gonna tell me to scrap the whole thing. I get embarrassed of my work if I'm faced with it and another person, all personal issues that I'm growing out of. But peer review is very important to the script writing process. And I'm very thankful to have funny friends who do me the solid of checking out all my scripts. Please check them out. Who wrote that? You guys are not getting paid, even in exposure. Animation, I sort of start off with the storyboard sketch of how I want things to look. It's not meant to be super polished or clean right now. It's just to get ideas on there for the ability to see with your orbs and observe what you think things will look like. After that, I'll clean these up with some sketches to make them a little neater, add some in-betweens, make them look a little less choppy. I tend to always try and add a little bounce at the ends of my movements, sort of like with the follow through. I feel like it kind of makes things go smoother, even if the animation is a total of like 4 frames. Then I clean it up with some lining, pretty basic stuff. I use a brush that doesn't really have pressure because I like the consistency throughout my lines. It's really hard for me to do it otherwise. And then I color, mainly flat color. Hardly will you see rendering in my animations. I have started adding this little shadow under the neck because that's pretty easy and I think it makes it look a little bit cool. And you know, 3 colors to color me. It took me a very small amount of time to do 3 simple colors I enjoy. Now, shortcuts, because I am one person. It is important for me to find shortcuts that make it easier for me to produce videos. And I have made a series of references and assets to maintain the quality of the video while hopefully making things move by a little teeny tiny faster. I need to save my energy and utilize my time on this earth appropriately. In the past, I know it's been kind of like a cruel joke to make fun of Storytime animators relying too hard on their sprites, but as a solo animator, it does make things go by faster and saves a lot of time. Like if I need a scene that requires me talking in the same pose, and I've drawn this pose 90 bajillion times before, that is 90 bajillion times I've wasted on that specific pose that I could have paid attention to a different scene. So you might notice that in this video, I've been using some preset sprites for the narration bits. Or maybe you haven't. Who knows? Now, this one is my baby. It makes it really convenient for me. It is the itzamedee mega ref sheet. It's a reference sheet that I have kept as a sketch for the purpose of referencing when I'm making videos. I don't know how to 3D model from scratch, so instead I have this really useful like turnaround sheet. It's just like left as a sketch that I can kind of use to reference and make sure that proportions are all right. Saves a little bit of time. Also make some for people that I draw repeatedly. I also have this preset of the glasses and the hair shape because apparently people find it really hard to draw my hair shape, and that was it. I guess that was the rundown of how I make videos. Maybe it inspires you to make more videos yourself. Content creation is a labor of love that is really fun, and it can be super grindy. So try not to die if you give it a try. That rhymed. That's cool. Hey there, thanks for watching. Sorry for the multiple delays with this video. That was not cool. My computer stopped working, and then once it was working, I literally had a storm wipe through and wipe out a good portion of my area's power. And then I had a sinus infection immediately after. But I'm all fine, everything's good. Special thanks to my buddies Charles and Jasper for their additions to the intro. I had an idea for what to do for like an opening skit, and I asked for their help, and they immediately proceeded to write and of course voice act for it. They are very funny individuals. Please go check them out. I know I said I wasn't paying them an exposure for the video, but I'm being generous. That's all for now. Hopefully it does not take another 5 months for me to post a video.